Hello, hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today. We're going to get you some clarity and see what's going on overall in the energy. This is a timeless collective reading. See what feels like it resonates for you. And always follow and trust that divine guidance in you, to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, because the answer's in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so that your decisions are sound, they're based in love and for the highest and greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. We're going to dive right into the tarot. Let's see what's going on. See what God, source, Holy Spirit, Christ, consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. This is an interesting variation of the King of Swords. It's somebody that's sitting there looking at something that's heavy. He's sitting there in the superhero pose, which shows that this King of Swords, usually an air sign, so Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, definitely has some confidence, but it's such a different energy from the typical, like, King of Swords, because usually it's all about thinking. Although he is sitting there thinking, he's not really doing the heavy lifting right now. So maybe there is some hesitation going on right now with this particular person. Let's see. Let's ask about the weight. What's going on with that weight that he's looking at? Oh, the weight of the wish come true. Maybe he was hesitating on something he really desires. It could be because it's the King of Swords. He's overthinking something, analyzing it so much. Like, what happens if I drop that weight? What happens if that gift or that blessing goes away? What happens with this if I go that way? So maybe this is someone that needs to, especially with the Nine of Cups here, try to get out of his or her head a little bit and tune into his heart. Because, you know, if his heart is in whatever it is, that's this, what he perceives to be heavy lifting, it's not going to feel so heavy. It's going to be like a good workout, you know. Maybe you're a little sore, but you know you're growing because of it. Also, look at that huge cornucopia here. It has there's an entire apple tree in that cornucopia, as well as some flowers, some pears. So maybe it's getting to the core of the matter. Maybe something is just about plump and juicy. There's also a second cornucopia here at this woman's feet. So usually when I see grapes, I think of celebration, communication, community. So maybe there is something he's just, I don't know. I wanted to say he's just about to kick over, but maybe he needs to look down at his next step. This could also be a feminine energy coming in with this offer, or maybe this person is looking at all of the effort he's putting into something because they feel like he's training, or this could be a competition situation, but maybe it's to give an offer. Nine of Cups is really beautiful. If it's upside down, it's just overindulgence. That is a really big cornucopia. I feel like with this particular wish, whatever it is, there's enough to share, but then I heard spread too thin. So maybe this king is spreading himself too thin instead of focusing on, I don't know why I hear the right wish. Another way to kind of think about this is if there's somebody here and they're influencing this king in any way, saying, no, that's your wish. No, really, you've wished that. And he keeps saying, I don't know. That feels like it's just always a lot of weight, or it's not really in tune with his heart. Then maybe this is even a king that's back and forth trying to, I heard a conundrum. I actually heard separation, but I feel like it's more of a separation of his own thoughts from maybe the thoughts of others. Interesting. Let's see. Let's ask about the Nine of Cups. Why is this wish come true? Ultimate happiness, fulfillment of somebody's heart and emotions coming through. What was that? Let's see. because it's not just a wish come true, it's a victory. So maybe there is a lot of training or preparation that had to happen first, because the Six of Wands, sometimes it comes easy, but not always. You know, if that's the big, like, you know, Super Bowl game, yeah, a lot of practice sessions and training and wins under your belt before this big victory comes. It could even be a small victory that is really important. The Six of Wands is, I feel like it's more the parade than the battle. But it doesn't mean there wasn't some kind of battling situation. Let me look at this closer. It also looks like there's a lot of, there's a lot of like bow and arrows, so maybe even a Sagittarius kind of energy here. But I feel like there's a target. Maybe the target is, you know, better than the last time, doing better than you did in the past. Or the target is this expanse in dreams, or the target is a certain person or goal that, you know, this king has in mind. The Six of Wands is feeling victorious coming home in the parade, but recognizing there's other people there that either were on the same team and supported you and or him, or maybe this was the, you know, opposing team, and that still is an influence to get you stronger. Whatever the friction and or lift, you know, because I'm kind of getting like a coaching kind of energy, is why you got over this big hurdle. Cross the finish line. Upside down, I see that as somebody who's a little bit too long on the saddle up there on the high horse, and if they don't get off, and I feel like be thankful, be appreciative of those that threw you this parade or helped you out. Then I don't know why I just heard the cheese stands alone. Maybe this is somebody who thinks that maybe there's not a team situation. Maybe this person has to do everything on their own. Cheese. I'm thinking of like Swiss cheese. So maybe there's holes in a certain situation. I don't know why I just saw some kind of like obstacle course, and there's like cartoon potholes in the ground. So maybe it's going around something. Now I see like barrel racing with horses, but maybe it's going around the obstacles, or maybe it's learning how to jump over. But maybe this king feels like at one point he did fall into that hole. I actually see, I don't know, like a black hole, sinkhole. I know I see there being quicksand. Maybe this king had his head in the sand, or something has to be decided quick or changed on, you know, like turn on a dime. But with that quicksand, there's a way to get out of the quicksand, and it's not the forceful approach. So clarify Six of Wands. Let's get one more and then maybe jump to something different. And let's just kind of go with the flow. What was that? The Four of Swords. So maybe it's even a little bit of rest that's needed. Meditation on how to reach this win or this victory. Or really tuning into oneself, whoever this is, on what it is that is the true desire. Because I feel like there's something that's changed in somebody's thought process. Come to the edge, ready to dive in. I mean, it looks like that girl's sitting on the edge and looking at someone, having fun. Maybe there's something going on to the side. The Four of Swords is sometimes a truce. Sometimes I see it as a win-win, relaxation. It's at the bottom. The Two of Swords, it's a decision. Just a decision for tranquility, or to maybe have some alone time. I feel like this is always when you're like sleeping in a big fluffy bed and you're really comfortable, or you're doing yoga at the end of the night and you just have that moment to relax. If it's upside down, it's where you want time to relax, you want a moment to yourself, and there's always someone in your space, or you're not comfortable in an environment or in your mind since it's swords. Sometimes I'm getting that friction kind of energy. Sometimes if a little friction comes in, it's to get you thinking different. It's to get you... It's funny because she's sitting on a fence and I see the Two of Swords as sitting on the fence. So maybe somebody has come to the crossroads and thinking different. Maybe somebody is contemplating how they went a certain direction in the past, took, I don't know, an action. And I feel like there's something that needs to change, or something's being readdressed. It looks like either this guy is coming home. He's got like a little Toto with him. Coming home with a bunch of bushes. I don't know, maybe they're for firewood. Maybe he's making something out of them, or maybe he was doing some pruning or something like that. But this person is not on the fence. They're coming out of the woods. They're into the clear, and he must be moving kind of fast because that dog is sort of running behind him. But Two of Swords can be where somebody was just in their head. Do I go this way? Do I go that way? What if this happens? What if that happens? All those what ifs don't really get you anywhere. The only way you're going to know is to decide. If you decide and you try and you mess up, then you do it different. Then you reassess that situation. Usually this is somebody who has, like, let's say that scarf would be over their eyes and they have to kind of feel the situation out through their other senses. But this person is, you know, in the clear and can see perfectly well. And this is giving me like Little Prince vibes. So I am getting that there is something about maybe a rose, or learning... I'm getting like big life lessons, because the Little Prince goes through all those different planets, and it's always like a dude or a person on the planet just by themselves, and they're in their own little bubble of what they think the universe is. And the Little Prince comes in and always questions things. And I do feel like there's something that needed to be questioned because somebody was stuck in the bubble and they just weren't presented new information, or they didn't see another side of the story, or they didn't know, you know, outside of their own circumstances. And I feel like this person has gone on a journey, maybe got lost in the forest for a little bit, but coming home, I don't know why I see an olive branch now. Let's go to something else. Let's see what's going on here. Somebody's making a decision. It could be that somebody is recognizing how powerful their thoughts are. You know, do pay attention to the thoughts that you are thinking. They're all vibrations. It's all part of manifesting what you desire or what you actually don't desire. So let's go to the wisdom of the Oracle and just see, like, a little deeper what's going on here. Tell us deeper what's going on. I mean, this is the central person that's either you, thinking about you, or coming into your story somehow. So let's ask about the King of Swords. What is the current energy of the King of Swords? That's the energy of peace, but it came out upside down. So that Four of Swords energy is somebody wanting to be at peace in their decisions, and their dreams and their goals. But I feel like it's somebody projecting into the future. Did I say something about the olive branch? There we go. That's literally a dove coming back with an olive branch. So maybe this is somebody who wants to have a peaceful resolution to a situation. I said revolution, so maybe something is coming back around. Maybe this is clear communication. Usually in the Two of Swords, there are two swords there. So someone can go back and forth in their own head, very much a Gemini energy, or you can move that more to Libra energy and offer that sword to someone else. So now it's a truthful conversation. If this came out upside down, it could be that Four of Swords energy, that somebody wasn't comfortable in their environment. Always feeling like they had to wear a mask or change their mind to appease others or something like that. And I feel like somebody wants this energy of tranquility. They want the energy of peace in their life. And it looks like maybe that's the goal here, or that's part of, you know, these decisions. And I just heard the blessings coming in. I feel like there is a blessing coming in for this peaceful environment, maybe partnership, maybe mindset. But if somebody is always at odds in their mind, it's probably because there's a disconnect with their authentic energy, or a disconnect between their mind and their heart, maybe even their actions and their words. So clarify, that's also, what is that, number 23. Let's ask about this. I want to ask about this big, huge cornucopia with the whole tree in it. It looks like that girl is pretty, it's interesting. I'm seeing a lot of strength here. If this is a couple or business partners or just friends, whatever it is. I mean, she seems to be holding that big cornucopia pretty easily. There's something that should be effortless, and yet there's effort put in. That's like a conundrum. I just heard good hard. Hey. So, and I just heard rough around the edges. Maybe there's something rough around the edges, or that's how somebody comes across, especially if this person is pretty bold. But usually the King of Swords is pretty good at communicating. He's usually pretty open-minded, unless he's like that. I just heard pig-headed, or like full of bull. That's only upside down. He's really cold. He's really harsh. He's very selfish. Upright, he is generous. And he's usually able to have a good convo with many different personalities because he's adaptable. I just heard really funny too. Maybe this is somebody who is really funny. Let's see. Let's ask about the Nine of Cups. Tell us about the Nine of Cups, the wish come true. What is that about? Building blocks. Maybe there was something that was a block or a hole. But this is a step-by-step approach to receive this abundance. You know, maybe this wasn't a big old cornucopia that showed up on this person's door, but maybe she grew that tree in an orchard. Maybe she was out in that garden for many seasons. Maybe this is a step-by-step approach situation for something to unfold. Not just like a genie in the bottle, boom, your wish come true. There it is. Okay, what do you do with that? You know, what do you get to do afterwards? I feel like there's an after there should be, I feel like this has to do with where this king, where this gal here in the cool little hat builds in their life, where they put the effort in. Because if this is kind of the situation where it was a tower, or I just heard like House of Cards, and something's just like, what's that? The Three Little Pigs, I'll huff, I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. So maybe it's something that was built energetically on straw. Maybe then it was sticks. Maybe it's time to build something with stone. I did hear stepping stones, building blocks. Let's ask about the victory. Tell us about the Six of Wands, please. Somebody's getting help or a leg up, or maybe, interesting, because it could be, depending on how you look at these, maybe somebody was helping out with a soulmate situation, but maybe that was that friction energy that I saw. It could also be a true soulmate coming in to help somebody take some of the heavy load up, or even be the right inspiration for this person so they get out of their head and they believe in themselves, like that superhero pose. So, I mean, this could be somebody coming in to be in somebody's corner, like, you got this, we practice this, you're good. It could also be that part of this wish come true is somebody is ready to connect and vibrate with their true soulmate. Somebody that brings this peace and tranquility into their life, into their world. I am getting a soulmate is coming through, but I feel like there was maybe somebody in their head in the past because they, I don't know. It's like I see somebody like standing there looking at somebody stuck in the quicksand, and they're actually not helping them out, like offering them that olive branch. Like, here, take the olive branch. I'm going to help you pull out. Like, relax. Relax. Don't force it. We got this. So maybe somebody is like really, like easy, like tranquil with their energy and yet really strong. A leg up. It could also be where somebody is coming through because they really want to help somebody with a soulmate situation. Let's see. A higher power is at the bottom. So maybe that's the help. I am kind of getting this. I think this is divine intervention, divine protection, divine friction. And I feel like this leg up is somebody feeling more confident with listening to their higher self, or being in tune with God, the divine. But somebody's third eye is opening up here like a keyhole. It's like they found the key, but you have to follow those clues to find what was locked. I feel like somebody was shutting down their higher self a little bit. I just heard they knew better, but maybe now they know better and they're more in tune, more in touch, and they see where something can build. I feel like something had to fall down, and that could even be like an unlearning kind of energy. What you thought you knew might change after you go down a different path. Higher power, I'm seeing spirit guides and angels and a lot of divine energy helping in something, especially if this is a soulmate, higher frequency in a union, a divine connection. Then this is more of a written in the stars. It's supposed to be there, whether it's for healing or it's a pinnacle point where these two somehow help each other towards their wish come true, or wishes that come true, whether that's separately or together. Because soulmates can come in our life for a moment and make a huge impact on our forever, or they can come in and stay. But they come in for a reason, and if it's a soulmate energy, they come in always with the undertone of love, and there's usually some kind of clarity you find or lesson that you learn, but it's more gentle than like a karmic situation where you gotta learn that lesson fast, you know. This is a different kind of energy. So let's do this. I did bring this. So since we have soulmates, let's go to this. This is the twin flame oracle. Let's just dive a little deeper and see what's going on here. Let's focus now on the soulmate situation. I feel like for some of you, it's a new soulmate coming in, or there's true recognition on a soulmate, whether somebody chose to, I just heard, handle that soulmate with care or not. That would really be a crappy thing if you have a soulmate, the person that would really just hold your heart and you didn't treat them with care. But now I see that something had to fall down to build back up, brighter, bigger, better, stronger. So I'm also getting that somebody could have been confused, because now I keep hearing karmic. So maybe somebody believed they were a soulmate, but their actions were more karmic, or their relationship was more karmic. Let's see. What would be helpful for the collective to know? Right now, what is the current energy? The current energy is a big old yes, but yet there's somebody questioning. It's like their soul knows yes is an answer for something. But if they're constantly putting that question mark up and talking themselves out of something, then I feel like they're, I don't know, they're shying away from their truth. But maybe somebody does have a lot of questions and they need to be able to open their mind and expand to realize what is a solid yes and what is not. The answer to your question is yes. Whatever you were wondering, is somebody a karmic? Maybe yes. If somebody is a soulmate, maybe yes. If somebody is, I don't know why I heard willing to go the extra mile, yes. Are you going to get a leg up? Yes. Will you find peace? Yes. Times 2. You know, are you going to reach the target or hit the bullseye? Yes. But maybe some of you have to do something more than once. Let's keep this and get another one. What else would be helpful? Tell us about the yes. What's yes? For some of you, somebody is going to say yes. I mean, that could be a proposal. That could be a new partnership. Yes to a date. Yes to the first date. Tell us about the answer yes. Why did yes come in? Big goals. Yes, union is coming in. And sacred space. All of these messages correlate with each other today. So yes, maybe some of you need to take some time by yourself, that Four of Swords energy, and create a sacred space for yourself, a little you place where you can think and hear your higher self a little bit louder. I heard drown out the noise. I'm getting that you are in tune with energies. So when you get messages, it's an allowance. Think of yourself like a, like a rod, a transmitter, but you're tuning it. Let's go to a radio, old school radio here. There's all that static going on. There's all those different radio waves and stations. And sometimes there's so much static, whether that static is outside information or I just heard overload on social media, but maybe it's even others' opinions. Or I just heard funk, but not the good, like funk, but like a funky energy. Now I see that cheese again. It could be just somebody's like low vibes, bad energies, selfish attitude that can constantly drain somebody else's energy. I feel like somebody wants to get out of that funky mess, because that would be this upside down where they feel like they can't even speak their truth or hand that sword over in a conversation because they don't know how the reaction's going to be. Someone's always like reacting weird. They have no control over their emotions or even their thoughts. I feel like somebody's reactive and they don't recognize that their reactions have repercussions. So if somebody feels like they always have to have that armor on, that's not a very comfortable conversation or environment or partnership or friend or whatever. So it looks like somebody is thinking here. They're writing down their notes. They got their morning coffee. They're doing some research, and somebody does have some big goals. Maybe they're coming up with a solution or seeing what that next big step is. It could also be where somebody was focused on the ultimate win being their career. For some of you, maybe somebody was focused on their career, but maybe one of the next building blocks coming in is love. If some of you don't have this situation in your life right now, then maybe, yes, you are gifted some space by yourself. So you do focus on your dreams, a project, something passionate that you're into, your career. Maybe this is a brand new time for you to refocus your energy into yourself. What is this actually? Don't call it a dream. Call it a plan, brand. Business success, claim your place in the world, believe in yourself. Maybe some of you are actually, like building an empire. I feel like some of you are putting the initial or maybe final touches on something, but I heard initial components to a situation, like you're getting all those building blocks ready together, getting everything all organized before you start building. But once you do that, you have to start building. And for some of you, maybe you get organized while you do something. Maybe you don't even realize the tools you need until you just start something. Because if you're constantly thinking about all the stuff you need to do first, got to have everything in its place before you begin, I feel like there's too much hesitation sometimes and you never really begin. And I also feel like maybe there's some tools you bought you didn't need. Maybe there are some things you organized in the wrong place, because I feel like a lot of it you will figure out in that process rather than overthinking the process before you put the action in. Because it doesn't look like that person's doing any action other than thinking. So maybe this is where you do your best thinking. It could also be because you have soulmates here that you do some good brainstorming or questioning with another person. It's an altar, a prayer, candles, and communing with your divinity. It looks like there's a card here, a white rose, which is friendship, or my little dog. And there's like a name there, like a space waiting for you. Maybe this is also the space where you feel something is sacred. Maybe if you recognize there is a sacred soulmate, then you cherish that space, that person, these moments, each other's energy. It does look like there's some kind of union coming in. For some of you, maybe that's a bestie. For some of you, maybe that's a business partner. For some of you, maybe it's your person. Reconciliation for some of you. And it's eternal love. So I do feel like there is something that you and another person signed up for pre-birth, soul to soul. I also feel like there was I see like a twist. Maybe for some of you, I know this is an extra message and it's not for all of you, because we are here with free will and complicated situations. So for some of you, I do feel like, I don't know, like I see like I don't say like the backup plan, but I feel like it is going to be where's your thing? Or the big plan for whatever timeline you are entering onto. But I feel like for some of you, you might have to be at peace that somebody's free will chose to not enter into a partnership that was meant to be. And that really blows. I don't know why I want to say big hairy dog balls. Like, not, it's like not cool. Like somebody really knows that they should have done something different, but they really chose the wrong path. And it's still not the wrong path, because we're going to learn no matter what path we go down. But if that is something that never came together, then yes, maybe you moved on, and yes, there is like somebody new coming in for some of you that is going to be a divine union. It's like, yeah, I don't want to say like the backup plan, but there's somebody that's going to come in. And I feel like for some of you, it's somebody that had the same thing happen to them. Like the other person outside of both of you went in a, I'm going to say more of a karmic direction, which means they're learning a harder lesson right now. And they're going to have some of that energy come back around, kind of, it's going to be kind of heavy. But I feel like your energy, whoever is coming in, is bringing you this peace in your soul. Because I feel like that is a true desire that you want to have. What does this even say? So I feel like either way, this is somebody that you've had lifetimes with. So whether this is a reconciliation in this lifetime or 400 lifetimes ago, it's coming in because you've done something together before, but you're going to do something differently this time. I also feel like for some of you, whoever this is coming in is going to either just be in your corner to help you with success in your life, but I feel like there's something more collaborative that you actually do together. Eternal love, and your time has come. So absolutely something beautiful is coming in. You have to believe that if you keep telling yourself you don't deserve it, or that it's not coming, or no, it never happens, right? Then you need to be the one to be a big girl, big boy here. Pay attention to the thoughts you tell yourself and recognize how beautiful you are, how strong your soul is, how much your soul has probably gone through lifetimes. And like, see how far you've come. Like, if you went through the same lesson tomorrow that you went through, 2 years ago, or, 10 years ago, whenever, lifetimes ago, would you do it the same way? Are you going to repeat a pattern and have no consciousness of it? Or are you going to snap into consciousness and your subconscious and your attunement with divinity, your higher self, and see something different and change? Are you willing to change or not? Because we should always be elevating, growing, and having experiences. Do you want to stay in kindergarten this whole lifetime? Or do you want to like really rocket your soul up there and make it an amazeballs experience? All that is up to you. But if you don't have consciousness of what you're thinking, what you say, what you speak, what you decide, and how you need to change when you know you do, then it kind of just gets you stuck in that quicksand. All right, so what do we want? Let's do this. I do have this. Let's make this let's go full circle here. I'm going to pull one more card from this. Since you do have, for some of you, big goals, this victorious energy, for some of you, maybe that wish come true absolutely is your career, building your brand, starting your own business, moving up in, whatever your career path has been so far, or changing it altogether. So let's go to the career and life, get you one message that would be helpful. I feel like you need to find balance with where you're focusing your energy. Like, not just between like love and career, but like overall throughout your day. I feel like a little variety is needed somehow. Even if you're somebody that likes to have your routine, I feel like it's the variety. It's the little monkey wrench you throw in a situation that's going to, I don't know, like bring you to a different crossroad, or introduce you to something that you can bring along in the journey that you're going to love, or maybe a new person, some information, a new idea, whatever it is. I feel like if you're just feeling like you're going in circles, you need to expand that circle, or pop that bubble, or jump the fence, or break the mold somehow. So what is one career? Of course, you got two. You're reflecting. I like these. I love this signs one. It's definitely you receiving signs, synchronicities, numbers, birth dates, angel numbers, animals that cross your path. Pay attention to the repeating things that happen in your life. Pay attention to when you were just having a conversation and there is a commercial or there is a person talking that you overhear and it has something to do with what you were just thinking about. That's so weird. No, it's not. It's synchronicity. It's your inner and outer world reflecting each other. The more you notice, the more it happens. But this is happening to take you down the right road, to help you make different decisions that bring that abundance in your life, that bring you this fulfillment in your life, that bring you that energy of peace in your soul. I'm also getting with this a lot of wisdom that's bringing you some kind of position where maybe by pure example, but maybe by your wise words, you maybe are going through things or have gone through things where maybe somebody's going through something similar or maybe even not. But I feel like you are going to be the one to help lift somebody up. But somebody has to want to get out of the quicksand. You can offer your hand, but they don't have to take it. It's not your job to fix somebody else or ever allow someone to pull you into their hole. But I'm seeing there's something where somebody maybe unwilling before wants to willingly now change or see something in an aha, now I get it kind of perspective. And I mean, that could be, I'm not really getting an age, even though that's a little tiny bear. I feel like it's more of a maturity thing. Somebody could be that tiny little bear and be that soul that's still in that kindergarten thing, but they could be in their 70s or their 80s. What did these say? I love that it's reflection. So you're having time to hear your higher self think. You're reflecting on the power of your thoughts, or a conversation that needs to be had, what your goals were versus what they are now and in the future, where you feel like you are respected and cherished, and where you feel that about yourself. Reflection. I love this. This came full circle even though I went to this career in life. So take time to revisit the past and figure out what you want to do. Knowing what you don't like shows you what you truly love. Whatever that is for you. Whatever you put your effort and your enjoying building in your life. I just heard "Build Me Up, Buttercup." That was so good. Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down? Mess me around, and then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. But I love you still, I need you. So sometimes you gotta go down the wrong road. You gotta fall in the hole. You gotta kiss a frog. You gotta make the wrong choice. So you recognize without a doubt in your soul the right one when it's in front of you. And then you cherish it, or that experience, you know, or that part of you. And then it does look like there's a pretty crystal clear reflection here. It's not boiling water you're staring at. And it's not this big storm where it's all rainy and you can't see. There is a reflection coming through that is I don't know why I heard clear as and then I actually went blank. But then I heard arrow. So maybe it's an arrow. Maybe there we go. Maybe there's an arrow, like a big spiritual neon arrow in the sky that only you can see, pointing you in a certain direction. You need to at least try. Maybe it's taking you on a shortcut. Maybe it's taking you the long scenic route, but it's the most beautiful landscape you would have never seen had you not taken the long way. Signs are right in front of you. Maybe these signs are right in front of you, but you had to look in a different direction. Turn your head to the side. Look up. Signs, you are putting the puzzle pieces together. You're getting signs. Wait, whoa. I don't even know what I said. Let's do it again. You are putting together pieces of the puzzle from signs you are getting. Pay attention to the coinky dinks you experience, because they're not. They're big spiritual signs to get you back on track, on the best path towards your soul's purpose, your destiny. I heard self-discovery, but I do feel like there's something now in the egg you haven't quite cracked open yet, or cracked that code yet. So there might be something that's kind of incubating, growing in there. But I am seeing that, you know, if this dove is coming here, there's something that was maybe in the cocoon, in the egg. It just needed the right time to grow. You know, for those little feathers to go on those wings, use its own strength to break out of that egg, and then I hear fly free. Or fly high. I don't know why I just saw the weirdest thing, and I haven't thought of that in so long. If any of you remember The Secret of Nim, I actually read that book, and, you know, there's the movie, but Jeremy was the crow. It was like a goofy puss, you know, and he like the sparkly, you know, and there was like the rats of Nim, and the rats were super intelligent. So there was something where, why can't I think of the little mouse's name? Mrs. Brisby, maybe? So basically, like, there were two, like, I think her husband was the one mouse that they gave, I don't know. There was all these smart things. It was really weird. It's like governmental whatever, and they were doing experiments to make the rats really smart, and then the one mouse. So there was something, maybe that there's something like, I don't know, more special. I'm not going to say, like, I'm going to go to no conspiracy things here. I'm just getting more of this as an energy thing. There's maybe something that was passed down to you that was a gift, and I am getting psychic gifts, spiritual gifts, maybe even prophetic dreams, maybe even a natural talent. You are talented with numbers. You know, you're a genius at something. You're good with, I just heard film, really big. Maybe film, maybe photography, maybe directing, maybe you play an instrument. Maybe it's just how you think differently than anyone else. How you put the puzzle pieces together that no one even saw were right in front of them. There's something really special about you. And if you know about it now, there's something bigger in its growth that's coming in, or that you are going to discover. I feel like you're putting your own puzzle pieces together somehow. But back to that Secret of Nim. Maybe I can find that last scene. There's something about moving the stone in that, and at the end, Jeremy was always just kind of like, he was like the, you know, the funny character. And at the end, Jeremy actually, this is the crow now, like falls into the bushes or something, and there's a girl crow there, and they start giggling together, and she's just as goofy as he is, and they get all tied up in the strings, and I don't know, it's like really cute. Like, so at the end, he was always kind of the extra character, like no one really, you know, they listened to him, but not really. And then he found like he found his crow, you know, he found his little soulmate there, and they were both like the same kind of goofy, tangled up in all the strings and all the, you know, because I think he likes strings or something. And then the last scene, it's like everything it falls into place, and you see the crows and they go up and they take those strings and the two of them are laughing in the sky and they create this like heart. I don't know. Can you see the hairs standing up? Oh, look at my hairs. There's something coming in for you. All right. I love you so much. I hope this reading was helpful. If you do remember that movie or you read the book, if you were a nerd like me, I don't know, maybe put a crow in the comments. I'd love to know how many of you watched that. It's probably more of you in my generation. But with this, I bid you adieu. Thank you for giving this reading a thumbs up. I love you so much. And I feel so blessed to be here with you. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.